I'm going to start. Well, yes, thank you very much for the welcome back. I'm going to be starting. Commander Farsight.
Yep, there you go.
Yes, it is Farsight.
That is his name. I am unsure how I want to play this. Do I want the main colour to be red? Or do I want the main colour to be brown?
You said you were going to paint it in your cadre.
I did.
At the beginning of the stream.
I think I'm going to stick with that. Ooh, it's got a cherry blossom thing. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like the models like Farsight tend to have base materials. Speaking of base materials, did you see the April Fool's post that GW put up?
I didn't. I saw the April Fool's post that Yorkshire Tea put up.
Yeah, they can die in a fire with that one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you need to see this because it's so funny. They sort of embraced... So GW sort of embraced the... what's it called?
The inner troll?
No, the tactical rock meme.
Tactical rock?
Yes.
Okay.
So, almost every kind of quite important character has some form of thing that they're standing on. It's particularly prevalent amongst the guard.
Yeah.
Lately.
I mean, Farsight has got a rock. He is standing on a rock.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to post this in our cool chat. Because amongst my group, people thought it was a either like a token or something to buy for your models.
Okay.
I'm going to let you read that little article.
Okay.
Like before you get into this.
Okay.
And tell me what it's actually for.
How do I find it?
I've sent it, so in our message group where we're having a call now, I've posted it.
Okay, I need to go to the chat for this then. Show chat. Leaving Discord, visit site. Full screen, there we go. Stand out from the flock with the new Warhammer Tactical Rock. Your army is lovingly based. Your heroes stand nonchalantly atop the skulls of slain foes, and lords and HQ choices perch atop imposing scenic features. But what about your most important elements of your army? Right, you, the player. The new Warhammer Tactical Rock is the must-have gaming accessory for 2025. Made for of hard-wearing real-scale composite, this elegant personal podium gives you the absolute best base from which to conduct your tabletop conquests. With the Warhammer Tactical Rock, you already have an unquestioned advantage before a single dice is even rolled. No secret that many of your Warhammer's most charismatic and beloved heroes stand atop a tactical rock of their own. Oh, that's excellent. That's a good photo.
Do you know how much it weighs?
How much does it weigh?
30 kilos.
Oh my god.
It's genuinely a little fucking podium for you to stand on.
Oh, dearie me. That's excellent.
For the American viewers, that's about 90, somewhere between 70 and 90 pounds.
It's weird how Americans use pounds and not stone.
Well, stone is just a very British thing. I suspect it comes from like cannon foundries. I think stone as a measurement.
Possibly.
Yes, because there was a point where we weren't, where the British Empire wasn't actually evolved like overtly in any form of war, so we just became the arms dealers of the world. People, all different empires were buying our cannons because we figured out that, because we developed a technique which made cannons not break apart after constant firing. Because everybody when they were making their own cannons was sort of getting a mold of the cannon. But what they were doing is they were doing it in two halves and then sort of clamping them together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Whereas we did the cake casting in its full form.
Yeah, stood upright.
Aye.
But we also made I think the actual cannon like an inch or so longer than it needed to be, because waste products and slag floats to the top. So a lot of cannons in the rest of Europe were having cracks along the top or around the top sort of half because of the way that they were excuse me, the way that they were casting them, whereas ours weren't, because we would stand the mold upright, like fully enclosed already, pour the molten iron in, and then all the slag would rise to the top, and then we'd cut that off or remove that. So our cannons were of superior quality.
Nice.
Take that, Napoleon.
Exactly. It wasn't just your bone that was apart. It was your cannons too, you bastard. Nice. That's a fun bit of April foolery. I don't know if you were about for my stream yesterday, but I got some April foolery from Satisfactory.
Oh.
I was just minding my own business, pootling around in my factory, and my named lizard doggo that I had adopted wandered around the corner and was about 10 meters tall. They swapped a few of the model stuff around for April Fools. They made the lizard doggo the size of the big inflatable giraffe type thing. They made the big giraffe thing the size of the lizard doggo, so that was dead cute when I found one of them. And they swapped one of the basic enemies in the game to look like one of the hardest enemies. So I was like, "What the fuck is this? Oh my god!" But yeah, the lizard doggo just like was about. I had to get up on top of one of the buildings to pet him. Yeah, it was a good little sort of April Fool patch. I wasn't expecting it, so it was fun.
See, War Thunder tends to do something every April Fools. And so sometimes they're a bit silly. But this year they decided to do something a bit different.
Okay.
They've got, for the next couple of days, you can do a lot of World War I stuff, and you can earn World War I vehicles to use in games.
Okay.
Which is quite entertaining.
Nice. But World War I vehicles are inferior and terrible.
Oh yeah, that is also so. War Thunder operates on a rank and battle rating system. So the lower your rank, the worse you are. So rank 1 is like intro. We're talking like what would be a good rank? Like the M1 Stuart tank.
Right.
You know what that is?
No, not by name.
Okay.
If I saw one, I'd go, yeah, that's a tank.
Well, the British were the ones that named it a Stuart, funnily enough.
Okay.
It's how... So the Americans didn't have names for their tanks at all. The British did.
Okay.
So when the British started getting Lend-Lease from the Americans, before the Americans involved in the war, they took to naming tanks. So I think they named what was at the time America's main tank, which was the M3, the Grant.
Yeah.
The Americans named it Lee. They started naming it after American Civil War generals, because at that point America hadn't really had any generals, and you couldn't call any like sort of great generals. after the Civil War. So they couldn't call every tank Roosevelt, you know,
Yeah.
after Theodore Roosevelt. Excuse me. So the British named the Stuart after a Civil War general. They named the Sherman after a Civil War general. The Grant after a Civil War general. And that's when America sort of cottoned on and started naming them. That's why you got the Pershing.
Okay.
Who I think was either another World War II or Civil War general. The Chaffee was just named after an interwar general. The Patton after General Patton.
Okay.
So we basically, as you know, giving them their language, their form of a form of democracy and their independence because we couldn't be voting with them anymore. We also gave the Americans their naming conventions for their tanks.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Indeed. I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair,
whereas-
the main country that gave them their independence was France. It's we had to go and fucking deal with them while instead of like finishing the Americans off.
Do you want to hear something really funny?
What's that?
So you've heard of the. So this is after the 13 colonies were independent and became their own country.
Hmm.
You ever heard of the Louisiana Purchase?
I have heard the name.
So the Louisiana Purchase was basically the United States.
Is texting me constantly.
The Louisiana Purchase was the United States purchasing the Louisiana territories of mainland United States from France, because France didn't want to hold it. There wasn't a lot of people there. Like, we're talking over the space of essentially the Midwest. There was only like maybe 1 million people.
Yeah.
You know, there really wasn't anybody there at all in the grand scheme of things in terms of population numbers. So America turned around, and so Napoleon, looking for quick cash in order to resupply and rebuild his armies, basically turned around to the United States and either the United States offered to buy it off Napoleon, or Napoleon offered it for purchase to them. I can't remember which way around it was.
Yeah.
But basically, America didn't have the money at the time to purchase all that territory, so they borrowed it from the British.
Oh, good.
So America used British money to buy territory off Napoleon, who then used that money to fight the British. We funded our own war against ourselves.
Damn.
But again, at the same time, you know, there was another moment like that. It was one of the many wars between the Greeks and Turkey.
Yeah.
And the Turkish soldiers at the time had taken residence in the Parthenon. That was one of their defensive points, and the Greeks really didn't like that. So a lot of the Pantheon, the big Greek building where all the gods are supposedly reside in Greece. And the Greeks really didn't like that. And then they found out that when the Ottomans had run out of ammunition, they were taking lead out of the building to melt it down into projectiles. And under a white flag, the Greeks turned up and went, "If we give you ammunition, can you stop destroying the building, please?" Like, we are more than happy for you to pull back. We're more than happy for you. Like, if you want to surrender, that's fine. Just, we will do anything you want. Just please stop pulling the lead out of the building to make into bullets to shoot at us. Please. And the Greeks ended up giving them like a boatload of ammunition, and then they went back to fighting.
Oh dear.
Just to save that building.
Right, I am trying to make this this look like a sort of a Martian rock. I initially went with red. I am looking at this and going, Wild Rider, maybe.
I think you should do... I'm wondering whether or not a mix of that and red would work. Yeah, I think a 50-50 mix of Wild Rider and like a bright red. And then over the top of it, dry brush. the Wild Rider?
Well, I my base coat I've started with Steel Agent Drab, and I was gonna dry brush over with the Wild Rider.
Yeah, that could work.
I don't know. I don't know if it's too different. Well, I mean, I'm trying it, so there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, well, the thing is as well is that you're painting Farsight in the same colours as your Cadre, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you kind of want the rock or the base bits to be different, noticeably different.
Yeah.
So I would go. I'd definitely go with that.
I'm I'm just trying to get. This is the underside I'm painting, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just getting the brush to the point where I like it. Try using the sprue. I think that's near. Just near. It's close.
I think in the
think
absence of any other details, I think the main body of the tank is done. So now I can move on to other things.
Nice. This is the word.
I'll look at it in like 3 weeks and go, "Oh, I missed that bit."
Of course. Right. All I want to do is really just the angles and the sort of crevicey bits. I want it to just be a sort of a highlight rather than a full recolor, which is I'm sort of achieving, kind of at the moment. So I'll show you once I've done a bit more. I need a bit more paint on that. Okay. So I kind of want it to look like it's weathered as well, which is good. I know what I'm going for. Okay, I think that one's. I think it needs another colour going over it as well, like a different colour. Like maybe even more dry than that. Oh, do I really make it alien looking and go with like a purple or something like really weird?
I think if you're going to do that, it needs to be a colour that contrasts with the main colour that the model's going to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, a good contrast for red is blue, for example.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking, like, purple to keep it sort of warm, but at the same time go into a different spectrum.
Oh, look at a colour wheel. They just pick the opposite colour.
Okay, so I'm relatively pleased with how that's turned out, to be honest. Just need to get this dry brush clean. They do like to keep hold of paint, these things. What designed to do. Just make it a bitch to clean them out. That's good enough. That's good enough. It still looks orange, but it's fine.
Let's have a look at the rock. Or are you not done yet?
I think I'm happy with it for now. I may tinker with it before sticking it together again, but so basically, let me put the camera a little bit further close. Oh no! I've just put my finger in it. Oh, how have I managed that? How? What? Why is it wet? I might have just wiped a load of the paint off, to be honest, but... Why is there a dog hair stuck to it, for fuck's sake? God damn it. Right, so... That's the main section there, and you can see the sort of the orange bits there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's subtle, but it's like it's got some sort of orange edging to it. I don't know whether to go over or just try and speckle some of the. At this point, you're still talking about paint. Yes, we are.
Are you still talking about paint? Yes.
Yes. I think
That's for the only bands paint.
I might go with one of my nearly broken brushes, and like one of these ones that's got like a really fucking ruined tip, and go dry brushing with that, but instead of like going side to side stabbing with it, and put dimples. Like little dimples,
So there's
something else.
what?
I don't know what to go with. I think I'm going to go with a dark colour, and I think I'm going to go with a dark blue. I think dark...
Put your finger in where and it's wet?
Wait. Giggity. There you go. I think I'm going to go with Dark Reaper. Okay. Now. Right, so I need this to be clean as possible. Whilst it's while still making some sort of okay. Trying to just add some texture to this fucking thing. And obviously, I think a bit of a wash will help with this as well. If I washed it with some Agrax.
Yeah, that could work. I find that out of Berserker Bloodshade, Agrax Earthshade, Non-Oil, Druchii Violet, Gorgrant of Fur, Chestnut Ink. Remember that one? Chestnut Ink? I find Agrax to be the most versatile, to be honest.
Okay.
Especially as like a universal shader.
I just don't like the way that Agrax makes my models look. I don't know why. I just I find Norm to be a better Rebus maker. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Well, it's that thing of it might just not work with for you personally. It might not work with Grey and Steel Legion.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that Agrax will work better with different colours.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm trying to do with this, I'm trying to make the rock look like alien.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that's the idea, sort of, as explored as I can make it really. and it has added a bit of texture, but I don't know whether it's good or not. I don't know. Oh, there we go. And I think with a wash that might end up coming together.
Yeah, just what to wash it with.
I'm probably gonna go Agrax. It's either that or Fugan Orange, but I think Fugan Orange might be a bit too orange. Where's my Agrax?
I'll go for orange.
You go with the orange?
Oh, my orange is Magma Droth.
I've got Fugan, but I mean, it doesn't look healthy, does it, at all?
The thing with washes is that they don't look healthy, and you give them a good shake, and it's like, oh, no, apparently fine, as if it's the day you bought me.
Yeah. Let's try the Agrax and see how that looks, and then I can always put a little bit of orange over the top if I need to.
I might take a bit of a wander down to G-Dub.
Down to where, sorry?
Games
Workshop. Oh, okay. Not Games Workshop anymore, it's called Warhammer.
Yeah, I just like referring to it as G-Dub. Because the mini of the month is the fucking model I need to make the drone commander for the Krieg, as I found out. Very nice. And also I want to book in a painting session, because I have found that out of everything that I have painted over the last 2 years, horses are the bane of my fucking existence. So I want to go down there and be like, look, I want to book a painting session. I don't want it to be anything like
stressful.
Like too elaborate. I just want it to be passable from 4 to 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be super detailed. I don't need to doesn't need to be blended in any particular way. I just want it to look nice at a distance, because I'm fed up of painting them all brown and just leaving it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I think that is enough Agrax. Right, there we go. I think the Agrax has assisted the blending of the colours quite well.
I think you've still got your camera on focused up close.
I do. There you go. There's that's what it looks like. It looks almost like a little, very old steak.
Yeah. Generic mouldy food from Fallout.
Yeah. 4-day-old chicken breast.
Ugh.
Ooh, lovely. Captain Birdseye, I'm
yeah.
proud of that one. But yeah, I think it looks fine. I think that looks fine. I'm happy.
Yeah, look, I think when it dries, it'll look a lot better. I think you can sort of go from there.
I think what I'm going to do is I'll use the Fugan Orange when I come to doing the normal oil on the rest of the model. And really, really orange it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. Have some tea. Take a little tea break, make sure it doesn't go cold again.
The worst cut. I keep making my mum has a cup of tea at my place.
Yeah.
My tea, this is going to sound strange, but my tea bags are always slightly tainted.
Tainted?
Yeah, because they're stored in the same cupboard where my entire spice rack is. So you don't just get tea, you get tea and cumin and garlic and oregano. As a subtle taste, apparently.
Okay.
And also, I've been giving Mum sweetener for 6 months in her tea when she comes around. It's like, do you have any sugar? And I went, no, I thought you were sticking with sweeteners. Oh no, sweeteners are bad. They're really bad for you. I'm like, oh, I've been giving you sweetener this entire time. Sorry.
Oh. not bad for you.
No, but
Depending on how often you have tea, it's better for you than sugar.
well, she believes it's the other way around. She thinks sugar is more healthy than sweeteners.
It depends. It really is a case of how much sugar are you having, because a balance of sugar and sweetener can counterbalance each other. Because
she only has 1 teaspoon, 1 level teaspoon, so not much really.
but how many cups of tea a day? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know. Mum's a weird one. Mum, like me and Mum used to just sit there and drink tea. Like it got to the point where I was going through not 7 or 8 cups of tea a day, but like 7 or 8 steins.
oh nice.
Yeah, like my Mum and stepdad bought me a ceramic stein, and it's got a bunch of artwork from Shadowrun on it.
Nice.
Which was an amazing gift.
Yeah.
And I was going through like 7 or 8 of those a day of tea, and I was having like builder's tea, so you know, strong milk, the dash of milk, 2 sugars, sort of thing. You know.
Yeah.
And going from there.
But anyway, what was still the thing I was trying to say was because of the way sweeteners react with the body, it makes your body think that you're having sugar, so your body produces insulin basically. If you have a mix of sugar and sweetener, your body makes enough insulin to burn like twice as much sugar, which technically is bad for you. But if you're trying to lose weight, it's actually really good, because your body will break down pretty much all of the fucking sugar and some that you're eating. So
Okay.
yeah, you're basically producing more insulin than you need, which is a good thing if you're trying to lose weight.
See, the issue is I get all my sugar from sweet drinks, like Monster and things like that.
Yeah. Well,
That's my sugar intake.
Yeah, go back and forth between a full fat and a diet version.
I would, but I haven't found like a sugar-free one that I like.
I find sugar-free Red Bull just tastes exactly the fucking same.
What, awful?
Well, yeah, I mean, there are Monster
Credit
Energy drinks that do taste good. The white one, I think it is.
I'm not a fan of that one.
I don't know.
Oh, you mean Ultra?
Yeah, that's all. I think that's sugar-free. The Lewis Hamilton one that was like a pineapple-y type one, that was sugar-free, and that was nice. But yeah, I'm not allowed to drink Monster anymore because it's American. But Red Bull's the only option I've got.
Is it? Is it American?
Yeah, Monster Energy is American.
What about Rockstar?
I'm not sure. Apparently Vimto have just released an energy drink.
They have?
Yeah.
I had one here today.
Yeah, Mrs. Buller enjoyed it. She said it was like...
Oh, no, sorry. Not Vimto. Rubicon.
Oh, right, okay. Well, yeah, Vimto have made one now as well. Apparently
Rubicon Raw.
I've not had the Rubicon one, but Rubicon are Canadian, so that's good. That's like double good. It's both not American and also Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you are right. Well, Rockstar is a brand of energy drinks created in 2001. Has 10% market share of the global energy drink market in 2022.
Okay.
Third highest after... Oh no, sorry. Yeah, this is Rockstar. Yeah, Rockstar is American.
Yeah.
Boo.
Never mind.
Boo.
There are other options.
To be fair, I'm getting priced out of the goddamn... what's it called?
The market for energy drinks.
The Monster one, yes. Because they just seem to be going up in price.
It's a blue charge.
Oh god, back in my college days when I was trying to do... So there was a thing at my college where we had an issue where one of the lecturers disappeared.
Oh dear.
Not like it disappeared. Like she went missing, like officially missing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, alright, Monsterism. God damn it.
Yeah. I wonder who makes Relentless. Relentless is good.
And again, I need to find one I like.
I'm not sure that comes in flavours. I think it's just standard, isn't it?
No, there's a couple of them.
Okay.
A couple of different flavours. UK. Relentless is UK.
Nice. Go with that.
Yeah.
British first. God, I sound like Farage now.
Or Stephen Laxley Yannon, as his actual name is.
Oh, did you see the the Cunt UK party, Reform UK party? They did an event somewhere in, forget the city. They had a basically a venue, one of those what's it called? What's the fucking thing called when you convention hall? There you go. They had out a convention hall in one of the cities in the UK, and the on and off sort of group led by donkeys hired the big electronic billboard on the front of the building.
Oh, led by donkeys, yeah.
Yeah, and they sometimes led by donkeys are a little bit, you know, they miss the mark sometimes, but on this occasion, fucking fantastic. They had basically a movie looping, which was basically pointing out all of the lies and stuff, and pointing out the fact that, you know, Nigel Farage is best mates with Putin, and all that sort of thing. And yeah, it was a good stunt, and there was nothing that Reform could do because you know, they had legally bought the time on the big billboard on the front, which was very funny.
I love how. So I think the first use of led by donkeys referred to the Italian troops in World War II.
Yeah.
Well, the full phrase is, you know, you know, the Italian army is an army of lions led by donkeys.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. I don't know whether they've just someone's heard that phrase during the formation of that group and sort of went with it.
Yeah.
Or
I'm pretty sure
they knew the context of that quote.
I'm fairly sure they knew the context because the guys who founded the group, it's not really a party, is it? It's just an activist group. They are quite, you know, they know what they're on about. Largely, they don't go about it in the best way, and sometimes they do put their foots in their mouths. And they also have some weird opinions on certain subjects, which I won't go into. But yeah, as a group, I think generally they are a net good in the world because they are basically pointing out the fucking bullshit that's going on in Reform at the moment. Not that anyone's fucking listening. Everyone's fucking brainwashed by the media. We're just telling them that they're a serious opposition, even though they really should never be that. They should never be considered a serious opposition.
I still think the funniest thing was where someone, like a Reform campaign member, posted a picture. It was like, oh, we've got all these people, you know, all these new Reform, like, party member, like, you know how you can be a member of a party, like the Labour, for example, Green Party. And I was looking at it, and it's like there was not a single person who did not have white hair, white or grey hair, and it's just like, oh my god, this country's fucking doomed.
Yeah, it's a party of fucking gammons, ran by gammons for gammons. And they need to fuck off, basically.
Well, we'll see. See what happens.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that they're going to have a very bad time next election because...
I don't think they will. Like, historically, the Conservatives have pulled all sorts of shit, and it's only been July that they actually got voted out. After 14 years.
Well, there's the whole wave of far right sort of populism has been pretty thoroughly destroyed by the incompetence over in the US.
One can hope.
Yeah, everyone has seen what happens when you hit the joke button, when you hit that meme button, and go, yes, I want all of the foreigners out of my country. I'm pressing this meme button because memes and I'm funny. And, you know, I'm not being that serious, but really I'm serious about this. When you hit that button, bad things happen. And, yeah. Hopefully the world will pay attention to what's happened and will remember. Hopefully our memory will not be 3 years long.
Yeah, you hope, but, you know.
I don't know. And hopefully the left are going to finally realise they can't just sit there and have better opinions and hope that people vote for that. You need to actually do something about it. You need to actually have a fucking plan. And yeah, I have enjoyed the rise of what's being called the "fuck you left," which is basically the people who are left wing, who've had enough of being nice, and are basically telling people to go fuck themselves. But I think gloves off is a better term for it personally, but I hope that continues. Honestly,
Well, I think it's also the frustration of having people who are nominally supposed to be on the left looking at you, fucking Labour.
Yeah, Labour have been a centre-right party for decades. Since New Labour, they've been centre-right.
They have. So we have three politicians to thank for the current political landscape, and that is Margaret Thatcher, with rugged individualism, is why people are like, rugged individual. So what we saw, or at least what I saw during the pandemic, with people not giving a shit about the COVID restrictions, like, it's been 3 months, I've had the fucking enough, I'm going insane, me. That's the result of like rugged individualism. You don't live as a society, everyone's out for themselves and that's it.
Yeah.
That's because of fucking Thatcher started that shit. Along with Reagan as well. Because, trickle down economics totally work, despite every expert saying that no, they fucking don't. We're going to need to stimulate the economy, so we're going to cut taxes for the rich. No! Other way around, you fuck!
Yeah, the rich are the ones who fucking spend the money in the economy. They hold the wealth.
If you gave everybody in the UK who is currently in work or out of work, like I am, £1,000 tax-free and everything like that, it would immediately go back into the economy. Immediately. But you do that with like billionaires and mega corporations like Facebook, Google, Amazon, things like that. Or the tech giants. They don't. They just fucking hoard it.
Yeah, I mean,
how have they not learnt this lesson by now?
Yeah. And anyone who
it's because they're paid by them. That's why.
Anyone who says, "Oh no, I don't agree. I think you're wrong about that point." Every single person in the UK during the pandemic was given a tax-free amount from the government, and it all got fucking spent. It all went back into the economy, supporting people's livelihoods.
That is what I said.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Disagree with me. It's like, no.
I'm trying to like head off anyone who says, "Oh no, that wouldn't work. That's very stupid. That's pie in the sky. Money doesn't go on trees."
Like UBI.
Yeah.
Of which the Conservative government actually did 3 tests of, and it worked every single time. It was amazing for the people involved, and they buried it because they didn't want people to know that giving people a little bit of government money every month, regardless of how much they earn, actually fucking works.
Yep. There are some Scandinavian countries which have a basic minimum income, where even if you're on welfare, there is a set amount of money that you shouldn't ever have less than. And it doesn't have any negative effect on employment rates.
Nope.
Because people still need to do those jobs.
Sweden does not have a national minimum wage. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the trade unions have enough power to negotiate with companies in order to set a decent wage for anybody entering that specific sector of that particular union.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know how everybody was decrying Jeremy Corbyn for being like, oh, he's like super left-wing, he's a communist, yada yada yada. Do you know what the Scandinavians were doing? They were looking at Jeremy Corbyn and going, oh my god, he's so right-wing.
That was a terrible Swedish accent.
It was. It was a generic, homogenized Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish accent, right? Shut up.
I have a lot of Swedish viewers. I feel like they're probably judging you right now.
Oh, good.
Oh, speaking of that, actually, I've added something to my channel. It's going to be in the break screens eventually. Let me see if I can find it. Underneath my video thing, it tells you where my viewers are located at the moment. Oh, that's excellent. Doesn't actually tell me because.
Oh, is it like? Oh, most of your viewers are from X countries, or?
Yeah, but it's got like a live feed. Although I don't think it's actually working, sadly.
Might have to refresh it.
Maybe.
So it feels like quite an intense thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have it on the break screens, but I don't know. Don't know if it's actually gonna work or not. It'll be interesting to see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll just turn it off. But everything I've tried today hasn't worked, so why would that be any different?
It's almost like you upgraded to Windows 11 and everything broke.
It's not even Windows 11 that's the problem. It's like all of these plugins on Twitch that I'm trying to use to make the viewing more fun for everyone, and more accessible. Like, I think the captions is an important thing because
I've run captions forever.
Yeah, I need to get the captions working because whenever I'm watching a YouTube video, I need the captions on them. I need them. I can't
See,
hear without the captions.
I'm in a weird spot where I can watch YouTube videos because somehow the audio quality is better than like the majority of major productions. Like, I watched an episode. Honestly. Yeah, like I watched. Like today, I've watched a bunch of gaming videos. I've watched a bunch. I watched a video from the Fat Electrician talking about one of America's Ace of Aces.
Okay.
In terms of being a pilot.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I don't need subtitles to understand it, or the gaming videos and stuff like that. But I do need subtitles to watch things like 911. Or Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is.
I know what it is with Lord of the Rings. It's they're really bad with the audio mixing because the music takes very much the forefront unless you've got like very specific speaker setup. I like watching things on Amazon Prime, and I'll tell you why. Because most programs and series and video and movies on Amazon Prime have an audio like what's it called? It's an audio setting. Log. Yeah.
Audio boost dialogue. Yeah, I've seen
it's got a dialogue boost, and it's got like some of them have got like one set in, some of them have got two, but I really like it. I really like it because it basically forces the volume of all the other noise to stay below the dialogue, so you can actually hear what the fuck people are saying, which is really useful. It sounds weird sometimes, especially when you're watching like an action series. It's like explosions and shit, and then the explosions all of a sudden get really fucking quiet whilst a guy whispers something. But it is. I find it useful, and it's really good. I think that's an option that should be in every streaming service. Obviously, you can't do it with
sometimes.
Well,
Yeah, I have sort of found that while Amazon do allow that, they sort of lack in other areas, which is... I tried to watch 13 Lives again recently.
what's that?
Which is about the 13 Lives.
Never heard of it.
It's a dramatization of the divers that went to Thailand to rescue that children's football team from a series of flooded caves. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I always thought that they'd make a comedy series out of it.
No, they didn't. They made a dramatization. It's got Viggo Mortensen in it, actually.
Okay. I do think a comedy series about the guys who took the football team down there and how incompetent they are. I think that would make good television.
Well, the thing is about the flooding was that it was an unusual amount of downpour because climate change is not real apparently. But also, the amount of water that was coming into the cave, which caused it to flood and trap them, wasn't coming from below. It was coming from above. So the more it rained, the more it flooded. But because the rain was so hard and well above as expected levels, the rainwater was finding, or I call it rainwater, monsoons really, were finding ways into the cave system that they hadn't previously done before.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that the football coach for this team was incompetent. It was just that it was just a series of events that of very specific things that happened in order for that almost tragedy to happen.
Yeah.
In the same way that the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant went the way that it did.
Yeah.
Nobody could predict, that there will be multiple earthquakes that were the strongest in recent history, and a tsunami would hit the plant at the same time.
Yeah.
That's why Fukushima went the way that it did.
Yeah. Speaking of earthquakes, you see that the Thai earthquakes, was it Thailand, where they had the strongest earthquakes ever recorded, and the skyscrapers in I think it was Bangkok were like swaying like a lot, but apparently they're built for it because they have earthquakes fairly commonly there. But there was a video that I saw from the swimming pool on top of one of these skyscraper hotels, and the water was just like getting like sloshed out, and there was one guy just holding onto the ladder, just like, oh fucking hell, I don't want to get swept over the fucking side of this building. So that earthquake that happened recently actually happened in Myanmar or Burma. Oh, was it Myanmar? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. But it affected Bangladesh, India, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, and China.
There you go.
So yeah, it was 10 kilometers from. I'm going to butcher this, so bear with me.
Here we go. Here we go. How many people can he offend with this one? Let's go.
Sagang, I think it is. Sagang. Sagang, I think.
Sounds fine to me. So, yeah,
it was a 7.7 on the scale.
Yeah, significant fucking earthquake that.
Yeah.
Good job we don't get many of those around here.
No, we're in a weird spot, like sort of.
Yeah, we are technically on a fault line, but we're near a fault line anyway. But it's been inactive for millions of years.
Edinburgh Castle sits on top of an extinct volcano.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, if it wasn't for the Gulf Stream, we are on the same latitude as Canada.
Yes, I'm aware. The North Atlantic Drift is the only thing that's stopping us from being the same temperature as St. Petersburg.
Yep.
Fun times.
There's the Gulf Stream.
If enough of the polar ice caps melt, and desalinates the sea to a certain level, the Gulf Stream will immediately switch off, and it won't be gradual. It won't be gradual. It will switch off like a switch from on to off within 24 hours, and our weather patterns will immediately fucking shift. That's going to be one of the worst winters we will ever experience, and it's going to force the British government to do a shitload of spending on infrastructure.
Yeah, completely having to re-winterize the electric grid.
Pretty much. The electric grid, basically every house is going to have to really bump up the insulation. Because at the moment, we can be sort of loosey-goosey because we've got an equitable climate. The second that happens, we are going to have to get Russia levels of cladding and stuff on our buildings.
So, speaking of weather and climates, there's actually there's a place not too far away from me called Torquay.
I've been there.
Torquay has probably the weirdest climate in all the United Kingdom, because it's somehow just this little bit of Devon gets enough heat and whatnot,
palm trees everywhere,
and sand. Actually, yeah, it's the only place in the UK that can naturally sustain the growth of palm trees.
Yeah,
the only place in the United Kingdom,
which is amazing. It was very sunny when I went there.
That's a chain.
Well,
every time I've been, it's been like biting wind and like threatening.
Yeah, we went around there. Went to the Eden Project. Went to Newquay. Went to this very old-looking town near Land's End as well. Went all around Cornwall and some of Devon. Yeah, it was nice.
This is going to be an important question. What time of year did you do this?
Summer.
Okay.
It was summer holiday.
Fair enough. That's.
It was like 6 hours to drive down.
Yeah, of course it does.
Absolute pain in the ass. Americans in the chat are just thinking, only 6 hours. That's a local commute. That is.
Your country's too big.
Yeah, it's America's in a weird place. It's a very big country, and yet it has no rail infrastructure to speak of. The reason that the country even exists as it is now is because it had a rail infrastructure, and it's just been defunded to the point where there's just basically no passenger trains going anywhere, and they have to get a plane to get from one end of the country to the other, and it'd actually be quicker to get a train if you had high-speed rail.
But the thing is that they won't invest in it.
Exactly.
They won't invest in it because the reason why passenger trains, this is the important distinction, why passenger trains are so shit in the United States. Admittedly, I'm taking this from a source that I read like 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know if it's changed or not, but I can't imagine it has.
Go on.
So I'll add that caveat before I carry on.
I listened to a podcast which has a lot of America train hate and explains why. Carry on, and I will tell you how close you got.
So I remember reading an article where I can't remember the exact details, but the summary of it was basically a lot of passenger trains in America are crap because there's sort of like no enforcement really on cargo trains. So cargo trains will be longer than they're actually supposed to be to haul more freight because there isn't a lot of rail infrastructure. It's mainly sort of mostly on the east coast with a little bit on the west, but there's only like 2 main lines, and they're both either in the southern states. So like you go from, say you get in the train, say you want to get to California, your options via train are to go from, say, New York all the way along like Chicago or Illinois, really, Michigan, like that way, along the top near the border of Canada, and then get to Seattle, I think it is, or Washington State, and then head south. Or you go south to like, I think it's Florida, I think.
Yeah.
And then go along the Gulf of Mexico, and then along the border of Mexico to California. Like those are the only two like main railway arteries to and from. But passenger trains, because there's for some reason a lot more enforcement with passenger trains than there is with cargo trains for some fucking reason. Passenger trains frequently have to pull into sidings and let these like 2-3 mile cargo trains go past, which can take forever because while they ignore while the companies that do cargo transportation sort of, or at least who run the cargo trains specifically, not the people who use them, the companies that actually run the trains themselves, ignore the kind of toe the line as to how long they can make the trains, but they really sort of rigidly stick to the speed limit, which is quite slow.
Yeah, the speed limit is mainly there because of the lack of maintenance of the right of way more than the the track is not maintained to a level where all the trains are not maintained to the level where they can go that fast. So yeah, that's the main reason they don't go any faster than they do.
But passenger trains have to sit in a siding for like an hour, maybe two, to allow a cargo train to go past, and they have to do that every single time.
Yeah. Well,
which is why like going by a passenger train in America is really fucking awful.
Yeah. It's almost impossible in a lot of the country. And the reason is capitalism, isn't it? Essentially,
because all of the railways were built by Union Pacific and things like that in the 1800s.
They weren't all built by Union Pacific, but yeah, a lot of them, basically the major rail lines were built by like 4 or 5 companies, and as some of them went under, as some of them got merged, basically lines got closed, fell into disrepair because they just weren't profitable enough. And it's all about profit, and it's all about it's not great. If you wanted to hear about the American train system network's problems, there is a really good podcast called Well, There's Your Problem, and they talk about engineering disasters, and one of the ones they talk about is they've actually got a few episodes about the American rail network, basically.
Oh.
But they also have the one of the fires in the London Underground, and
which one? There have been several.
Yeah, it was the one during World War II. And that one was pretty fucking harrowing. They've also done one. They've done a few episodes on 9/11. So there you go. Fun. Nice.
I'll bet the conspiracy theorists love that one.
Oh yeah, of course they did. Right,
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. No, it doesn't melt them, but it makes them malleable. That's the difference.
Yeah, if you want a very in-depth explanation of why the towers fell, well, There's Your Problem has got you covered. I can give them a shout out. They're lovely. It's a very funny podcast, and it did come up with the best sort of impromptu joke that I've ever heard. And I'll make this the last point before we finish up. They were talking about a porn theatre, and someone made the joke that all the walls in a porn theatre are load bearing.
Oh no!
That was brilliant. Anyway,
welcome to Cornish and Bula After Dark. If you're listening to this in the United States, well, maybe you shouldn't do it around your parents.
Indeed.
Or any friends or family members who have a weak constitution.
So I think that's all the painting I can manage today. My hands are starting to cramp up. So
I'm starting to lose focus, so it's probably best to end it.
Shall we show and tell? Do you want to go first?
Yes. Hold on, let me retrieve the tonk.
Tonk. That's Tonk.
So put down the base red for the
Yes.
for the thing. I need to cut my thumbnail. Jesus Christ, for the turret, yeah. But I've just done detail work, so I've done like the little sensors.
Nice.
So I tried your idea of doing these little windows, one with Talasar and one with Caldor Sky.
Yeah.
They look exactly the same. So that one was the Talasar. That was the
They
Caldor.
really do.
Yeah.
How is that?
I don't fucking know. I was like, alright, okay, well, there's no discernible difference here, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Exactly. There you go.
But yeah, the headlights sort of been my main sort of experiment today. So
Yeah.
it's
Nice.
good.
Nice.
And then for what I did, I did during the week, just to sort of stretch my painting muscles a little bit,
Nice.
is I should probably keep my OBS up so I can actually see what you guys see, and fuck around with the camera as per usual. Configure video.
There is
control.
a better photo of this in the Discord, so I'll bring that up in a minute.
Yeah, I need to turn the light down a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit bright, that.
Yeah.
A tad severe, as it were.
Yeah, so I tried, I know you can't really see it there no matter how much I mess around with it, but I tried a new paint recipe for the lenses.
Nice.
Well, I say recipe, I did an extra step,
Okay.
essentially is what it was. So this dude here was one of the first Kriegsmen I painted, this one.
Yeah.
And what I did for his eyes is I just did a little bit of Fire Dragon Bright on the lenses, and that was it.
Alright.
Whereas for this dude, one of the engineers, I did Fire Dragon Bright and then I went over it with Magma Droth Flame, and it's come out a bit more vibrant,
That looks
which I
very
quite like.
nice. I'll show you the
Yeah,
picture
I've
of
also-
it in a moment on the Discord. So, let's bring my camera up and I'll show you my work. I think I've done a fair chunk of work today. Hello. Obviously, I started the stream with these stealthy suits, stealthy boys.
Oh shit!
They're completely finished now, I would say. I'm very happy with them. And I've done a little bit of work on these sprues. Obviously, I've only done a little bit. Need more trousers. Need blue trousers. There you go.
No, I'm doing like early war, World War One. So where the French had red trousers with blue, not blue trousers with blue.
Yeah, that's the best bit of work I think I've done, and I actually kind of like how that's turned out now, with the sort of the staining and stuff on the rock.
I think you need a little near where the skull is. I think you need a little bit more work there.
Yeah,
If you can see that, just a little bit more, then that will sort of be finished.
yeah,
That looks really good.
yeah. I'm happy with that. But other than that, it's just a bit of sprue work. I'll be continuing on with that next week. Let's have a look at the Discord, shall we? Bring it up to. Oh no, that's Paint Club. Okay, that's Paint Cam. Where's the Discord one? There it is. What? Move that up there, and that can absolutely sod off that window. Right. So now I come out here and I go into the bull ring. There we go, the buller ring. So, what's been going on with Paint Club this week? Let's have a little look. This is Cornish's model that he's just shown you. That is his blue boy with the red pants. He doesn't want blue trousers. He doesn't want blue trousers, but there you go. There's a very vibrant eyes going on there. Lovely.
I also did the standard Krieg I did for the actual gas mask itself. I did Rykarth flesh, which is the same as I think if you scroll back one picture,
Yeah.
it's the same as the wraps around the feet.
Yeah.
And the trousers, or the wraps between the trousers and the boots. The first big picture, I think you can see it a bit better.
This one there.
Yeah, that one there. Yeah, you see at the bottom where the
yeah.
red ends. So that's
Nice.
Rykarth flesh.
Nice.
And I originally did that for the standard Kree, but then I decided that because these guys have got more of a skull motif for their gas masks rather than just being generic gas masks, I did that. I started with Mornfang Brown, then went over with Zandri Dust, a Washer Seraph and Sepia, and then just like around, like on the skull and where the jawline was, I did Shanty Bone.
Nice.
And then the eyes again were started with Mornfang, then went to Fire Dragon Bright, and then a wash, a very very delicate, careful wash of Magdroth, and then I had to go back over again and do like the actual lenses, or like the rings around the lenses, which you can't really see in those photos because I'm a shitty cameraman. Yeah, so that's silver.
Nice, lovely.
But yeah.
So what else have we had this week? We've had this Screaming Skull Boy from Monkey King. That is extremely tidy work. Fuck me. Look at that.
Very good Black Templar. I approve.
Yeah. Lovely.
And you know, I generally approve of any Black Templar because they were my first 40k army.
Okay. Nice. We've got this this Orky boy right here. He is flying with a rocket on his back. I want to see a side photograph of that to see the rocket in its full glory, but never mind. Here is Badger with his Nurgle boys. Some very, very greasy boys right here.
That's very good. That looks like a base of Castellan with a washer, with a wash. I couldn't tell you which one over the top. It's very good. I like that.
Looks very juicy, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's Nurgle. It's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Oh, that one's he's got a crab hand going on there. A tentacle pawn right there. A hentai marine. Lovely. Actually, that's Slanesh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that's the thing that you posted there. Not your own work, but interesting.
Yeah, I'm seriously debating picking one up and sort of either like making molds with blue stuff or something on those lines, just to make it really more like Space Marine Dreadnoughty as opposed to Mechanicus Automaton. I just love the over the shoulder cannon on that model.
Nice. More Nurgle from Badger. He's had a busy week, and yeah, we got Skippy with some battle tech of all things. Got some Optimus Prime there with that Thunderbolt. Is that a Takina? I think that's a Takina, isn't it?
Don't know, to be honest.
I don't know exactly what that is. It's either a champion or a Takina.
No, it's the torso's too wide for the champion.
Okay. And this, I think, is I'm failing to figure out what it is.
I want to say it's a Shadowhawk, but the gun's on the arm instead of the shoulder.
Yeah, and also the torso doesn't look right for that. I'll have to figure out what that is. I think these might be clan mix, to be honest. There's mine. I posted the thing that I posted last ages ago. That's why the photo is so bad. But yeah, that's my battle tech. That's 4 out of the 6 that I've painted, and Skippy there was painting this. I think that is a...
Does it not say in the caption?
Black Hawk?
Oh, no.
No, it doesn't. But yeah, there you go. And then there's my stealth suits that got done last week. So there you go. We're all caught up. All caught up, everyone.
I need to get my Battletech minis undercoated.
We should do a
Battletech week at some point, because I've got
2 more models to do.
I think when I finish the tank, however long that takes, I think the week after that we do Battletech, because I've got a colour scheme in mind for mine, because I want to do a mercenary company.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Right.
Just to break up the Warhammer a little bit, basically.
Yeah. All right then. Well, thank you very much again for this weekly session of relaxation that we have. And
yes.
I'll talk to you next week. Well, I'll talk
see
to
you next week.
Then, but yeah.
Yeah.
Back next week. All right.
All right.
Sarah.
Catch you later. Ta-ra.
All right. For you lot, thank you very much for joining us. Been an absolute pleasure. I think Paint Club has been successful today. As I say, we'll be back next week with some more Warhammer painting. We're going to get this this commander done. We will be back sooner, though. I feel like we'll be back tomorrow with a stream of something. I'm thinking SnowRunner is on the cards. Maybe Ready or Not. If I can get Canny involved in that, that'd be good. We can get some Ready or Not done. Either way, I'll see you next time. Have yourselves a fantastic evening. Ta-ra.